Okay, so today I get to do something special. What I have here is a single cutting of Jamaican Allspice, and it's in bloom. Check that out. So, like I was just saying, this is Jamaican Allspice, and I'm going to propagate it. Now, there are a couple things you need to know when propagating this. One has to do with when you're taking your cuttings. When you take your cuttings, it should be late spring or early summer. I recommend in the early summer, just after rainy season starts, because these guys need high humidity. So you can either use the weather or you can have a humidity box or a misting box. I've got misters up here, so if it happens to be dry, I can turn those on, but otherwise I'm relying on the fact that it is going to be humid, as is Florida this time of year. Now, all these leaves, they're not going to go to waste. This makes a lovely tea. You use a piece about the size of the end of your thumb, from the last knuckle. That's all you need to make an entire cup of tea. Highly recommend it. So you're going to start by stripping all the leaves off of your stick.
What about leaves? Yummy.
I'll tell you now, the smell that is coming off of this is fantastic. If you like spice cakes, pumpkin pie, things like that, this smells like the spice used for that.
It is.
Now, this is a native of Jamaica, not Florida, but it does really well in Central Florida and South Florida. So if you get a chance to grow this, I highly recommend it. It smells fantastic. Makes this whole area of the garden smell great. Carl, the gentleman who gifted this to me yesterday, has one in his garden. He has a very good sized piece of property. And you can smell this long before you find it. Now, another key to being able to propagate this is what type of wood to take. You want from where it's turning green and brown up into the green. The brown here, the older mature wood, doesn't root as easy, but this does. You're going to look for your nodes, and you're going to cut just below a node at an angle. You go up about 4 nodes, go just below a node, and cut. I'm just going to use a standard 4-inch pot. And you get a couple nodes under the ground and put it in a tray with some moisture. Once again, you get just below a node, you go up 4 nodes, just below the node, cut at a 45-degree angle. That's your cutting. And then it goes. Stop it. Alright, now I'm down pretty much to my last. I could choose to separate these, but I'm not. What I am going to do is I'm going to take the flowers off. I do not want it to waste any energy in flowering.
Snip, snip.
I am going to leave the tiny leaves at the top. I've got my 45 here. Now I could break this into 2 or 3, but I'm just going to do 1. And I just get them into the soil and pack it down. Put it in there in a tray to absorb some water. Now, I only got 4 out of that. So just because I only got 4, I'm going to go ahead and try with those, which are the darker, more mature wood. Now, generally speaking, you only get about a 50% take rate on these. So try to make as many as you can within reason. Don't make your pieces too small. Set them up, keep them in the shade, a little bit of moisture, and you need high humidity. Wait until you see roots coming out of the bottom. And once you have roots coming out of the bottom, it's time to go ahead and pot them up into a larger pot. When they get large enough, put them in the ground. Happy gardening.